Let yourself rest versus don't get too comfortable. We hear these two pieces of advice all the time. Both are supposed to be good advice. Both sound responsible. And somehow, we're expected to follow both at once. Rest, but not too much. Pause, but don't stall. Recover, but don't settle. And if you've ever felt guilty for slowing down and anxious for not doing more, you've already felt this contradiction. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jill. I make short commentaries where I slow down and explore ideas like this with honesty, curiosity, and without rushing to an answer. So today, let's slow down and look at these two statements. Let yourself rest usually comes from a place of care. It reminds us that burnout isn't a badge of honor, that exhaustion clouds judgment, that rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance. It's the voice that says you're allowed to stop. You don't need to earn your worth through constant output. But then there's another voice. Don't get too comfortable. That one comes wrapped in ambition. It warns us that growth requires friction, that comfort can quietly turn into stagnation. It's the reminder that says, if you stay still too long, you might miss your potential. If you relax too much, you might lose momentum. Both sound wise. Both are trying to protect us, just from different dangers. There was a point where I told myself I was letting myself rest. Nothing dramatic. Life was fine on the outside. But underneath that rest, there was a quiet discomfort. Not because I was exhausted, but because I wasn't sure what came next. And I remember realizing something uncomfortable. I wasn't resting to recover. I was resting to avoid deciding. That's when this contradiction stopped being abstract for me. Because in other seasons of my life, I've done just the opposite. Pushed myself relentlessly. Not out of growth, but out of fear of slowing down. Same behavior, different motives, very different outcomes. Here's why they collide. If I let myself rest, how do I know when rest becomes avoidance? And if I refuse to get comfortable, how do I know I'm not just running from myself? Rest tells us to slow down. Discomfort tells us to keep moving. One says, "You're doing enough." The other whispers, "You could be doing more." And in real life, this doesn't show up as a clear choice. It shows up as guilt. You rest and you feel uneasy. You push and feel depleted. You take a break and wonder if you're falling behind. You stay busy and wonder if you're ignoring something important. The contradiction isn't theoretical. It's emotional. It lives in the tension between relief and restlessness. Maybe the problem isn't that these sayings conflict. Maybe the problem is that we treat them like permanent rules instead of situational tools. Rest isn't meant to trap you. It's meant to restore you. And discomfort isn't meant to punish you. It's meant to stretch you. Sometimes rest is the brave choice, especially when the world keeps rewarding exhaustion. And sometimes refusing comfort is the honest choice, especially when rest is masking fear of change. The real skill isn't choosing one. It's learning to notice why you're choosing it. Are you resting because you're depleted? Or because you're afraid to try again? Are you pushing yourself because you're growing? Or because you don't feel allowed to slow down? Context changes everything. Maybe growth doesn't come from staying uncomfortable forever. And maybe healing doesn't come from resting indefinitely. Maybe the goal is to let rest prepare you, not replace movement. And let discomfort challenge you, not consume you. If this tension feels familiar, that's not failure. It means you're paying attention. So instead of asking, which advice is right? Maybe the better question is, what do I need right now? Restoration or resistance? If this gave you a moment to pause or reflect, that's enough for today. We'll look at another pair of ideas next time. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day.